Hey there. Good afternoon, evening, morning. Welcome to 50 Questions Friday for August 1st already of 2025. Oh my goodness. Time keeps a trucking. All right. So, gosh, I think maybe we can all just take a deep breath before we begin. All right. So, just putting your attention to the physical heart, inviting in your light, all that you are. Maybe the I am that I am. I am all that I am. Whatever your way of stepping more into your own being, your presence. Hey, Renard, good morning. Hey, good morning, Malit. All right. So, gosh, thank you guys for being here today. Let's see where to begin. Gosh, we have some new things coming out. I'm hoping that we'll have some practitioner rings. We have a couple of the lighter gauge, the 23-inch. They were like the grounding ring, and that medium gauge. I guess not lighter, but medium gauge. And we're going to get a few of those made before we release them to make sure that that's what we're doing. I'm going to work on some of the heavy gauge 23-inch just to see how they go. Again, this is my first time at creating the big rings in the way that we create them, because we used to get a lot of rings sent back. I mean, not a very small percentage of the large practitioner rings, because of the welds on them. So we have a different way of fusing them together, which I've never done before. So I'm going to play with that this weekend. So hopefully we'll have some practitioner rings coming here soon. And I know that I also want to do that 15-inch ring in the new energy. Right now we have that 15-inch highest potentials and 12-inch grounding ring combo. We just put up a bunch more of the grounding rings that we've had in stock, the 12-inch. So those are also on clearance. And actually, I'm going to probably mark those down a little bit more here yet today, the 12-inch grounding and the 15-inch highest potentials rings. So here by this afternoon, those ones will also be marked down even more. Cell tabs. I'm excited to say we have the new cell tabs coming. We only have like 4 of the old tabs left. As soon as they are gone, we will list the new ones, and we'll be sure to mark that on the website so that you know that the new ones are there and available. And yeah, it's pretty amazing, this new energy. Pretty blown away. Well, hey Carly and Connie, and hey Christine from Oz. Hey Nika from SoCal. And the coast even. Oh my goodness. Jealous of you. I would love to be out there on the coast about now. Sounds like a good reprieve. Yeah, Christine, the 23-inch horse harmonizer ring is made in the new energy. And actually, we turned that one into a 26-inch. So the horse harmonizer ring is now the 26-inch ring. And it is going to be the same energetic as the practitioner rings. Now, the horse harmonizer ring, it's in that lighter 8-gauge wire. Now, when you step up in gauges, like when you get to the 4-gauge, the largest, heaviest of the practitioner rings, it is so much more tangible than like, the horse harmonizer ring. And we set it up that way because, horses, water, plants, critters, they don't need that really potent field, the one that's more tangible on the physical, because because humans are so good at holding on to their crap that, it takes a little bit of extra to help them let it go. Where, like with the horses, animals, plants, they don't need that heavy duty field. So the horse harmonizer ring is a great one if you are really sensitive to the energies, or if you just trust the field. It's when you get into like the heavier gauge practitioner rings that you can feel it, it's more tangible. And then that allows, the mind to trust the field then. Um, so how did you discover the new energy? So this new energy, this new light field energetic, it started in January, the end of January. I woke up one day and I said, "Man, we need a new energy, and we need, it was like something in me made a choice that we were going to shift to into something new, into the new. Everything that we've created beforehand, like the highest potentials, the nothing space, and then even before that, everything has been a step leading us to here. Um, but this new energy, when we decided this in January, then the next day, my sister's like, "Yeah, okay." I knew something was going on. Both her and her partner kind of stepped into some deep stuff, deep, dense releasing. And then all of February, I was horizontal. There was 2 weeks that I did not leave the house. Um, it was intense, deep clearing through all lifetimes, and not just here on this planet. I mean, it was intense. So February, horizontal. March, April, May, still going through the thick of it. Even Brenda and her partner, who were helping to hold the space. So the three of us, well, and more than that, it was June 1st that this energy came in. And right before that, the when we create the tools, it is more than just me when I'm twisting the wire that anchors in the energetics. It is the consciousness of Twisted Sage as a whole. So once our last person, Mike, who does all the polish grinding, once he stepped in and went through his dragon, we'll talk about the dragon a lot more coming up. Once he stepped into that and he just was able to release and step through to the other side, that is when we were able to anchor that energy into the tools, because it does take all of us here on a conscious level. It's not us humans that are creating the tools. It is all about consciousness. So this new energy, it is, before we stepped into this new energy, some of the last things that we had were like the Pure Light of You wand. That one was kind of a taste of what we were stepping into. And then, of course, there was the creation field right before that. And that one has been something. Then there was the Peace and Ease wand, which was also taking us a little bit closer. But they all helped to build to create this space. So this new light field energetic, it is holding such an amazing space for all that you are. I tell you, we have, all of us that have been using this plane and this energy since June 1st for the past month, and 2 months, holy smokes, it has changed perspectives. I mean, God, Mary here at the studio is really a one to talk, because different world she's in right now. Totally different world. And that's something that I notice. It changes perspectives. And that's And perspectives is a loaded word here because a perspective in my viewpoint in the metaphysical way is that that includes your beliefs, your old traumas, your patterns, your fears, your human desires. It's so much that just shifts, and it takes you to a new place. Especially the coils and the wands. The silver coil, the light field coil. Man, I've been wearing this since the beginning of June, and this is what I attribute to most of my shifting to in the spaces that I'm in currently. Now, the Master's Wand, that one took me to a whole different level. The Master's Wand has actually been one that deep release, and it is release in a way that is so much different and profound than what the work was that we were doing before. Because before it was work, it was humaning, it was effort. Um, and last Friday, I was telling you guys the story, and I got lost in it and didn't finish the story. But basically, I was telling you about, oh man, I snapped and I blew up, and it seemed like all the human stuff was what my reactions were, and it wasn't. Um, so I just popped on Thursday. Um, and then by Friday, Brenda helped me. She held space for me to be able to see. And what I found, what I felt and saw was an old aspect of me. So I've talked a lot about aspects throughout the whole wisdom era. And this aspect, it was in an aspect, a soul aspect is nothing more than a part of you. You've all heard of like the wounded inner child, things like that holds on to these traumas and then they affect you now. It's kind of like that, but it's throughout all that you are. So most of the aspects that we run into for ourselves are other lifetimes, other experiences. And so they are you, but it's not like you take responsibility and say, "Oh man, look at all those bad things you did. I guess that's all on me." No, your aspects are simply a facet of your light. They're like a cousin through the soul. Um, so they're not your responsibility, but they do come through and end up holding on to the stuck energy. So the point of this story is that I really wanted to share what I saw was that after all this build up and just, I was telling you that I had all these negative scenarios that would run through the mind. And so that was my first clue that something was going on. But then when it all culminated and just popped out on Thursday, then Friday, I was able to look more and feel all of that stuff. And with Brenda's support, I was able to see that aspect, some old wounded part of me. I'm not even going to, don't need to know specifics or details or who or when or what or why. Just that was holding the anchor point for all of this energy that was causing everything within me, the emotional reactions, the thoughts, the perceptions. So there we go. Perspectives right there. When you are just immersed in dense energy, your perspective is so different than when you're out of the box. And that's really what I mean too by perspective changing. It opens up everything. This new light does. Um, but anyway, all we did was pull. So I saw Brenda pulling a thread of light from me, pulling that thread of light down and connecting it to that aspect, that part of me that was holding on to all those energies. It was really wild because I could see all those energies then just moving up and out. It was like this giant stream of stuff, and it released. And then, when you bring your light to those aspects, it releases those too, and it brings it all to wisdom. So anyway, I just wanted to finish up that story just to kind of give you guys a visual of some of those things that come up that you can feel and perceive in the undercurrents, but you're like, you know, and that's really especially where these new masters wands really assist. And the pendants and the mini wands are grand, but man, I tell you what, the copper brass master's wand is something else. It is next level. Um, Again, it's kind of like the concept between the largest master's wand and like the mini wand and the pendant is kind of like what we were talking about with like the horse harmonizer ring, and then the medium gauge grounding ring, and then the heavy gauge rings. That this is just so more potent, but not everybody needs potency. There's a lot of people out there that they might just be like, no, I don't think I want to touch this one. And they might go for like the pendant or the mini because it's going to still hold the same space and bring in that feel the same. So let's see. Yeah. Yeah, I tell you, Jay, and thank you for the question too, Jay. But yeah, the anchoring of those energies, it's because we anchor everything into the etheric templates, the higher dimensional aspects of the tools. And as it goes into the etheric templates, then we're able to put it into the physical from there. Um, and you mentioned about channeling from the Akash. And yeah, the Akash is simply what we see as all the experiences and the lifetimes that you have. And the thing about the Akashic records, is that everybody always thinks that they are just written in stone and just details, and this is what it is. No, right now, as you step into your mastery, into your embodied realization, ascension, whatever you call it, as you step into that, your Akash begins to change. And as you bring your light to you, and your light goes to all of your lifetimes and experiences, those shift and change because everything is malleable, past, present, future, and now. Everything is so malleable and it seems so set in stone and concrete, everything in physical reality, but it is not. And neither are your Akashic records. And that is a beautiful thing because as you step into mastery, the Akashic records, your lifetimes and your experiences come into healing, completion. They totally change. The medieval peasant that you were, that was a serf, a slave, beaten, tortured, whatever, it changes. It changes its whole everything. It's a pretty wild concept, but what we were doing has never been done. Even the ascended masters like Jesus, Buddha, Tobias, Kathumi, all those guys, they did not do this work. They did not stay here and bring all their lifetimes to wisdom. So it really is, yeah, I tell you, we're in such a profound time. Hey, Renard, my master's wand arrives today and I can't wait. Oh man, I'm so excited for you because yeah, you're gonna dig this thing. Um, and yeah, man, Renard, you have shifted so much. I really appreciate that you're always here and growing and glowing with us. Um, can I please show you the size of the mini wand next to the master's wand? And no, I cannot. I do not have the mini wand. Just to give you, this is pretty close to the mini wand. The mini golden fire and light wand is really close to it. Um, the mini wand, gosh, we do need to get a photo of all those together, Christine. Definitely. So, the mini wand, you can still wear it as a pendant. My mom wears her silver one as a pendant all the time. The mini wand, not the mini wand pendant. Um, and so, and then a lot of people do carry them in their pockets, and they are great. They are great, but they're still, mm, if you're really wanting to get in and just move the energy, I would say go with the copper and brass full size. Um, Amazing, amazing tool. But again, you know, the mini wands and the pendants, the light wand pendants, they all again carry the same field. Um, so it truly, any of them is going to hold that space for you. Do you share in measurements the new line of tools? As I've seen you shared some in the past, and I asked about discovery as find it very fascinating. So here's the thing, Jay, and thank you for the question. So the cubit measures for us do not dictate the energy. So the cubit measures for us, we use all working cubit measures. Well, we don't use the 144, 177, 188 anymore. Um, we do use the 333 a lot. We still use the golden fire, the regeneration. Now, the golden fire and regeneration are two that we never had released publicly yet, those measures. Um, just for the fact that the regeneration, when you make that ring on its own, just the cubit measure without the etheric template, it's intense. I mean, I swear that thing about killed me when I first was bringing it in, because I had to, one, do the release and the clearing to be able to match that energy, to be able to anchor that in. And not even my shop foreman at the time, my nephew, could anchor in the regeneration energetic from that cubit measure. Um, then the golden fire, because the regeneration doesn't, it's kind of a different ring all on its own. And we still use the cubit measure, but not the energetics of it. So we still use the cubit measure. And that is actually what our new Taurus, the 8.5-inch Taurus is in that regeneration cubit. But it's not the energy of that particular cubit. The golden fire was another one, and that one is both a cubit measure and the etheric template. So you can't anchor in that energetic in by just making the cubit. It has to have the etheric template, kind of like the balance and harmony and everything we create. So the new line of tools is created with probably 4 or 5 or maybe even 6, probably 4 or 5 different cubit measures, just to get the size that we need for the project. The peace and ease wand, Christine, it is similar in that, yes, that was like a couple steps into where we were going with this new energy, but this new energy is so far beyond even that newest one that we had, which was that peace and ease. Again, that was just helping lead us here, and it's a slip and slide to this next level of what the tools are now. Yes, the video. So the question, the video will be available as soon as we're done here, and then it takes just like a couple minutes for YouTube to process it. So the video for this will be available within minutes here when we're done. Oh, the size. Yeah, Christine. So the silver peace and ease wand is exactly the size of the mini wands. Um, and so all we did was we took the exact same form for the mini wands, for the peace and ease and the pure light of you wands. And we used the exact same form and brought in the new energetic. Um, Let's see, Jay, we have right at the moment our sacredmeasures.com website is down. We're working at getting we're changing servers and everything. So um here in a week or two, we should have that sacredmeasures.com website up, and then that has some of that information that you were looking for on the etheric templates. Um Okay, so got a question here and some feedback that I would love to read on the new wand, the Master's wand. And then we'll talk a little bit about the new Tauruses that are coming out that I'm super, super excited about. All right. What does the Finity do in combination with the Master's wand? Is there a difference between having an infinity in your field separate from the wand versus attached to the wand? So, yes, and for all of you who purchased the Master's Wand before we added the Infinity, my sincere apologies. We will still get back to you here ASAP. I will work on getting email. Well, we were still trying to figure out the infinities and the connecting of these so that we can just send the infinity so that you can easily connect it to the wand. And the reason that we connect the infinities to the wand is the infinities, the infinite hearts, the figure eights. When you use these, they connect with your heart, with the energetic field, the seat of the soul, that the sacred heart, the heart chakra, however you see it, physical heart. But it connects with the heart. And so, like, if you use the infinity and you wear a crystal, it'll connect that in with the heart. And that's why, like with the coils especially, because the coil pendants produce that toroidal field, the tube torus that flows. So does your physical heart. The electromagnetics of the heart produces that toroidal field, that tube torus. And so what happens when you wear this coil and you put the infinity on it? I thought I lost my infinity. And you put the infinity on it, is that it connects both of those fields together. And that is why these coils are so amazing, because they bring everything into alignment and balance. And then plus that flowing field is all about expansion and bringing in. It is the gravity that both expands and contracts. And actually next week we are going to do something special on 50 Questions Friday, and we're going to do something for the 8-8, and it has to do with gravity, emotional gravity, metaphysics of gravity. And so I'm going to try to bring that up here because there is something special going on with the full moon and alignments and all the things. But, it's not that astrology dictates reality, but astrology can still be a space holder for consciousness. So it's not like, I follow astrological stuff and it is what leads and guides. It did for years. I admit I played in astrology, and it always seemed so grand, and it really helped me to give away my power of my own choosing. And I don't know, it's like it tries to create a destiny for you, and it is not. But it can hold space. So anyway, we'll do something here next Friday. But with I forgot where I was at again. Oh yeah, with the infinities and these wands, it just adds something more to it. It brings in a connection more. The infinities is also, again, it still is carrying, some of that energetic of what all the infinities have, like the infinite allowing. It brings in more of the grounding, the connecting, and the connecting into the heart. So let me go back here, and I would love to read what Molly has written here for us. I ordered the Master's Wand and have had it for a little over a week so far. And holy moly, what a week of seeing limiting beliefs clearly for the limits that they are, and then them falling apart within the same day. And then she has the wand that, it's the original without the infinity because it's still phenomenal the way it is. The infinity just adds another extra layer and connection and everything else. So we will make sure that we get infinities to everybody who has the standard wands. And some limiting beliefs and fears I've been aware of and working on for a while, like years, breaking down and being able to see what they were holding me back from and why, and then the decision to let it go has been so easy. Yeah, you know what? That's totally it. Sorry, I was going to take us down a rabbit hole, but I'm not. But, I just find that this is just so beautiful and amazing. Working on these beliefs, some for years, and we're able to see them and why, and then she was able to make the decision and just release them. Brought them into your awareness, the understanding of what the heck they were doing there, and then you can choose differently. I'm excited for whatever the infinity adds to what has already been a powerful and liberating tool. Yeah, thanks, Molly. I appreciate the feedback on there. Yeah, it's pretty wild stuff. Hey, Connie from Maine. All right. So the Taurus is, so it's interesting because, when I made the Gaia spheres, I really didn't, they felt good, but I really didn't take the time to really feel into them. Then I had a question email and I was sitting and feeling into, because she was asking like the field of influence of the Gaia sphere and of the Taurus, because she just purchased both of them. And the Gaia sphere, when I looked into the Gaia sphere, it was really cool because as you step into that Gaia sphere, it's like there's a nothing space within it. If you've heard me talk about that nothing space, it is a blank space. It almost just seems like nothing, just dark absence of anything. But that is how we perceive it, because truly that nothing space is all your energy, all your potentials unmanifest. So it is like, it's what the soul brought of all potentials, of all lifetimes, of all experiences. And that is what surrounds the space within that Gaia sphere. And then you get to the core of it, and it is this soft golden light ball. I mean, it's pretty amazing. And then that Gaia sphere, to me, it covers like a size of a large home, maybe a quarter of a city block at the most. But it's not the area in this physical realm that really matters. I mean, it still is going to restructure electromagnetics and clear dense energies and things like that. But it's really not the diameter of the field. It is more about the quality within there. And it is connecting you to that golden light is you. That nothing space is all you. It is all your potentials. And when you connect into that golden light of you, the golden healer, it is a facet of your soul's light. Amazing things begin to happen. The Taurus, holy smokes, the Taurus. So the rings are still sitting over at the studio. We just got them through the shakers here this week. Brenda's picking them up today. And she's going to start making Tauruses this weekend. We have, we did the pre-order email. We're going to ship the first ones out on August 5th, but, still got to give us like, if you ordered today or this weekend, you still got to give us like a week yet. That's kind of our lead time on creating the Taurus. It especially depends on if we get a lot of orders on those. But the Taurus, when I looked at that, and again, it hasn't been physically assembled yet, holy smokes, it almost freaked me out for a moment because the nothing space in there is so tangible, so thick. It's like, it's very tangible, that nothing space. And then so is that golden ball of light that is you, the golden healer. That is intense in this 8.5-inch Taurus. So the 8.5-inch Taurus is the one I looked at. The 12-inch one, I still not sure about the 12-inch one yet. I'm gonna have Brenda look at that one with me today, but that one seems almost like it's more further. It seems like it's more out there or something. Not sure how to explain that one yet. I mean, that field is still there. The golden light is still there. And it might be just that I'm not able to perceive it as well yet, because to me it seems, not here. So I'm going to work with Brenda on that one today, and I'm certain I'll have an update on that 12.5-inch Taurus. And just because it's larger doesn't mean it's more potent. I feel like it's just going to be a little bit different. So, but this 8.5-inch Golden Healer Taurus, that's on pre-order. I cannot wait to actually get one in my field. I have a feeling that this is going to be, the Tauruses have always been so amazing, as well as the Gaia-spheres. And, the Gaia-sphere and the Taurus is the only place that I'm seeing this field of the nothing space with the golden ball in the center. So we're going to keep playing with this. And, I'm really curious to see what's coming as we keep moving forward and making new tools. So some other updates, Dancing with Water, we're actually going to be no longer making that heavy gauge silver water ring. I think we have 2 or 3 on hand that I believe. So I'll make sure that I get those listed here this weekend if they're not, because I think they might be showing out of stock on our website. The heavy gauge 2-inch ring in silver. That one, Dancing with Water, still has some on their website. So if you really want one of those silver water rings before they're gone, you can also get it from Twistedsage.com. They have the silver ring, and it's the same price as our website. And so we're working at designing a new ring right now for them, and I'm excited about that too, because I really am curious of what's coming new. And again, cell tabs are coming new. Gosh, what else? The practitioner rings we'll get to here. So yeah, infinite light pendants. Oh yeah, so the infinities, the large infinities. Since we spoke, we've brought back the large infinities as well. Well, I guess we call them size medium, the original infinite hearts, and they are what's going to be the centerpiece for the infinite light pendants. The one that has the silver ring and the light twist silver ring around it, and then the silver infinity in the center. We will be working on those here this next week too. Yeah, Christine, those silver water rings really are amazing. They do such great things with the water. Yeah, I really do love those rings too. And we may end up making some more of those and offering them, because I have a feeling that will be the outer ring for one of our pendants again, because of the Divine I Am activator pendant. I'm pretty sure that one's going to be coming back. And if so, we'll be making those heavy gauge 2-inch rings again. Let's see what else. Gosh, I think that's all I have. We're going to be doing more and more clearance stuff, so keep an eye on the clearance page. We're sending out an email here today on the clearance items, and I'll probably be going back through, like I said here, by this afternoon. I will mark some more things down. So by the time you get the clearance page or the clearance email, we'll have everything marked down um, on that clearance page to where we want it to be. There's a lot of things that are like, I don't know, up to like 40% off. So I doubt if we'll be going any deeper cuts on those, but some of the other tools will mark down even more, because now that we are busy working at bringing in this new light field energetic light field / golden healer, we may change the name as we step in and everything is completed. We're getting closer to, just being able to level out here, and maybe be able to take some time, redo the website, redo all the names of the tools, new photos, so that for sure the energetics is coming through. And yeah, just ever moving on forward. So thank you guys very much. Sorry, I'm just rambling here at the moment, but yeah, thank you guys very much for being here. And again, yeah, next Friday we plan on doing some kind of 8/8 thing. And just kind of working within our own field and having some understanding of, I don't know. We'll see what happens. So anyway, hope to see you guys next Friday. And yeah, take care. Hey, Stephanie, good to see you. All right, you guys, have a great weekend. And yeah, maybe we could just sit in a space for a moment. So let's just sit in a space, you guys, if you would like to step in, because we do create a sacred space when we are here with 50 Questions Friday. And so if you would step into the heart, and we'll step into this space, and we will make sure that we bring in this new light, the golden healer, so that perhaps you can connect in with that field a little bit easier if you haven't already. So just taking that deep breath into the heart, moving yourself into the sacred space of the heart, inviting in your presence, your light, your awareness, the I am that I am, the human, the soul, the master, the lifetimes of trauma, the dark, the light, the good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly, all that you are. Because you are all that you are without judgment. And when you accept the parts of you that you don't like or that you see as dark, and this is through all lifetimes, accept the parts of you, it allows it all to shift. So it is okay to see, to bring your awareness and your light to those parts of you that you deem unforgivable, that you deem as silly or immature or hurtful or too much, whatever those things are that you've judged about yourself, your experiences. Accept and allow them to come into this beautiful sacred space of you, to allow these things to come to wisdom. And that is what happens to the things that we judge as being bad or negative. This is it is the toughest thing that you'll probably ever do, but it is the thing we are here to do, is to step into self-acceptance of all that you are. That is what brings you to mastery, self-love, self-acceptance. And so I know a lot of you are like, man, that's oil and water. I can't bring my dark and my light together. Oil and water. I don't want the oil. That is the old perspective. That is the duality. That is what we are transcending. And how you transcend that is through allowing of things to be and of bringing them to you. You don't step into, there's this old situation and it's dark and dense and scary and everything else. I'm going to step into there. And you bring your mind and your emotions and you re-experience all the stuff. That's not how we do it. You stand in your light and you bring it to you. You invite it in to your light, into your harmonizing, loving, forgiving, transcending, alchemizing light. And that's what brings it to wisdom. That's what brings the completion. Then you don't have these things in your gravitational field that are there. Even if you don't really think about them sometimes, they're still in your field. Once in a while, they'll resurface and you'll see it and feel it and deny it. And it'll go away again. And then it'll build up more momentum and mass. And it'll come back in again. So it's all about what we're doing next week. This is kind of the prelude to that, is that we begin to bring in and invite in the unlovable parts and pieces and experiences of ourselves and allow them to shift. So be easy on yourself, damn it. Even if you did something that was horrendous, it wasn't you. It was you, but you in a different time and experience. The soul does not judge you for anything you do. You can save a busload of children. You can run a busload of children off a cliff. The soul is like rejoices. Sorry to use the busload of children. I am not, but it just, the concept is that your soul does not judge good or bad. It is always singing and rejoicing, no matter the experience you have. No matter the experience you have. The soul does not judge you, so you shouldn't either. So, yeah, forgive yourself, invite in those parts and pieces of you that are hurting, that are in pain, that are causing so much undercurrents in your reality. Yeah, thanks, Renard. I know I kind of went a little extra on the example. Yeah, but yeah, all I'm saying is be easy on yourself, and because this is what's moving us into the next level. And again, the master's wands will help you step into that mastery a lot easier. This is a natural process too. So you guys, so you don't need to buy a tool from Twisted Sage or anything like that. This is a natural process that we're going through, but I want to see you guys. I want to see everybody in the world go through it with a lot more grace and ease than what we have, because you don't have to do it the hard way. That's so old paradigm. Got to do it the hard way. Struggle and strife. No, things can be simple and easy. You don't have to take a lifetime, 2 lifetimes to do this stuff anymore. So, yay. All right. Thank you guys. The Egyptians knew weighing your heart on the scale wasn't about being pious. It was about literally not being attached to the things in this life. Right? Yep. Because you don't need to drag that crap into the next experience. Yeah. And where we're going, we can't bring our luggage. We have to leave it all at the door, at the threshold. You can't bring in luggage. You can try, but it sucks. It's painful. All right, guys. Much love. Be easy on you. Accept yourself, not mentally as the human, but you as all that you are, as the light being that you are, that divine golden light that you are. Accept those parts of you. All right. Much love.